So hello friends, how are you all? Hope you are well. Today we are back with another new video. Today's video topic is Malayalam drama thriller movie Udal. The movie is based on a true story. Before going to the main story, let me tell you that the movie contains some 18+ scenes and words. And if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So without further ado, let's start our video today. At the beginning of the movie, we see a girl named Shiny. She takes a picture of a sanitary napkin and sends it to her boyfriend and says, "Look, my period has really started." Then her boyfriend says, "Then we won't be able to do anything for a few days." Now Shiny says there is nothing to do, be patient for a few days. Now Kiran says, "If I go to you after so long, a rape case will be filed at the police station the next day." Shiny smiles and says that we will see later, who can do it. Then we see Shiny standing near the window and we see his son whose name is Nanapan and another old man who is Shiny's father-in-law named Kudakan. So Kudakan is talking to someone whose name is Joy who does small work in this house in exchange for money. At that time, a bad smell starts coming from inside the house and Nanapan cannot bear the bad smell and leaves from there. Then Joy says that how come you are not suffering in the midst of so much bad smell? Now Kudakan says if there is love in your heart then none of this matters. Then the scene changes and the old woman you are seeing now is Kudakan's wife and Shiny's mother-in-law who you saw coming out of the dirt a little while ago. She has been bedridden for the past 4 years due to old age. And the girl who is taking care of her is the maid of this house and her name is Rani. Then when Sin comes to Shiny, we see her doing something in the kitchen and talking to Kiran on the phone. After the conversation, Kiran asks Shiny for a goodbye kiss. Shiny sees if anyone is around and gives her a goodbye kiss and turns red with embarrassment. Now Kudakan comes to his wife and says that I like the smell of powder on you. After hearing this, Kudakan's wife becomes emotional and looks at him. Kudakan jokes and says, "Don't look at me like that. I won't be able to sit on your bed now, otherwise the bed will break." His wife gestures to him. Kudakan understands what his wife is saying. He tells his wife that your son didn't come this week. He will definitely take a leave next week to see you. He kisses his wife's hand. Then Shiny tells Kiran that she is going to take a bath. Then Kiran says go to the bathroom and give me a video call. Shiny says okay, but I will show you a little bit. After going to the bathroom, Shiny makes a video call to Kiran and makes various gestures in front of her, but Kiran asks her to take off her towel, but Shiny stops her and puts the phone down. The scene changes the next day. Their maid Rani says that she can't do all these things anymore. She doesn't like cleaning all these dirty things every day. Kudakan hears these words from the next door and looks at his wife and feels very sad. Then the maid comes and explains everything to Shiny, when to give medicine to her mother-in-law and when to clean her. After hearing this, Shiny gets very angry and says that you have only been here for 3 months, I used to do these things before her. After hearing this, Rani takes her money and leaves from there. In the next scene, we see Shiny and her father-in-law cleaning her mother-in-law together, but Shiny is having a hard time doing this work because of the stench. On the other hand, Kudakan is serving his wife with utmost care. Seeing all this, Kudakan's wife looks at her husband helplessly, wondering how her husband is taking care of her, but Shiny's condition is very bad in such a bad smell. She tells her father-in-law, "Dad, you keep cleaning mom. I'll take the dirty clothes and leave them in the bathroom." She takes the clothes to the bathroom, pours Dettol on them, soaks them, and leaves. She tells her father-in-law, "I'll go and finish cooking, you stay here," and leaves. After Shiny leaves, Kudakan puts talcum powder on his wife's body and starts smelling her, and we see his wife crying after seeing all this. Then Kudakan goes to the bathroom and cleans his wife's dirty clothes himself, instead of leaving them for Shiny. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, when Shiny's meat is finished cooking, when he goes to put the meat in a bowl, the stench from the outside and the bathroom starts coming to his nose and he vomits there. And her desire to eat is ruined. she lets her father-in-law eat and says you eat and I and Nunapan will eat later. Shiny goes to her and takes a piece of bread and starts eating, then when Kiran calls, she tells him everything, then Kiran tries to convince her but Shiny says I can't bear this anymore. I want to get out of this, you do something, and hearing this Kiran keeps quiet. The next day Shiny goes to leave her son Nunapan at his maternal grandfather's house, and calls Kiran and says that I will leave my son with my father for 4 to 5 days. Then Kiran says then how many days our road is completely clear, she also says in how many days won't your husband come? Actually, Shiny's husband's name is Rajiv, he works in the city, that's why he lives alone in the city. Rajiv left Shiny in the village to take care of his sick mother, but instead of doing that, he falls in love with Kiran. And listening to their phone conversations, it is clear how serious their relationship is. So, Kiran was standing at one place talking to her friends, when Shiny left her son at her father's house. She was walking along that road, while Shiny was going, she honked her car horn, then her friends asked who she honked. Kiran said, maybe she honked when she saw the road corner, whatever her friend said, but that's the thing. He also said that a police friend of mine named Xavier used to go to Shiny's village every day and my job was to take him there and stand guard. After hearing these things, his other friend Samad looked at Kiran because Samad knew about the illegal relationship between Shiny and Kiran. When Samad does not believe, he says I am telling the truth, then Kiran says these nonsense because Kiran thinks that Shiny loves him like crazy. The boy says again that you believe me, I have seen Xavier climb the mango tree in Shiny's house and enter her house through the bathroom ventilator and come out in the morning after having a good night's sleep. When Kiran gets angry, Samad calms him down and brings him from there. In the evening, Samad and Kiran were discussing something, when Shiny called Kiran, and Samad left for Shiny's house. When they reached Shiny's house, Kiran left Samad and went inside the house alone. Shiny had already left the main gate of the house open. Kiran quietly entered the house and closed the door after entering Shiny's room. Now, when the two started getting close, Sean went out of the house. A little later, when Sin comes back inside the house, Kiran is seen hugging Shiny, and after talking for a while, they become intimate. After this, we see Shiny sitting on the bed in a very happy mood, and Kiran goes to the window and smokes a cigarette. Then Kiran says, it's true that there is a lot of stench in this house. After hearing this, Shiny says, can you free me from this hell? Kiran is surprised. Shiny says that I have been suffering from this pain for 3 to 4 years now, I don't know how much longer I will have to endure this pain. If you want, you can free me from this pain right now. And after hearing this, Kiran gets scared, she understands that Shiny is talking about killing her mother-in-law. Shiny says that if she is killed tonight, no one will suspect anything. There will be no autopsy either. After hearing these words, Kiran's fear increases even more. Kiran looks into Shiny's eyes. Then the two of them slowly walk towards her mother-in-law's room. She opened the door and stood near her mother-in-law's bed. Then Shiny went to get something. Then Kiran saw that Shiny's mother-in-law was looking at her. Kiran felt a little pity for her. Then Shiny brings a towel from the bathroom and hangs her mother-in-law around her neck. Kiran is surprised to see Shiny in such a state, but still she helps her in this heinous act. When the old woman dies, Shiny and Kiran come to her. She comes to the bathroom and breathes a sigh of relief because she is now free from this pain. But thinking about something, she starts crying. Then she comes from the bathroom and sees that Kiran is very scared. Shiny encourages her and says, don't worry, I will start crying in the morning so that no one will suspect us that we killed the old woman. Then Kiran asks if the old woman is really dead. After hearing this, Shiny gets scared. Now the two go to the old woman's house. Shiny checks the nerves in the old woman's hand and sees that the old woman is really dead. Then they both breathe a sigh of relief. While leaving, Shiny remembers that she forgot to take the towel, but the towel is not next to the old woman. They both start searching, but they cannot find the towel. They think that there is someone else in the house besides them, and that is Kudakan. So, is it Kudakan who removed the towel? Shiny's hands and feet get cold in fear, thinking that Kudakan might have known everything. Shiny goes to her father-in-law's house to see if he is sleeping. Then Shiny returns to her house and tells Kiran that her father is sleeping and he did not remove the towel. Then both of them breathe a sigh of relief. Then Shiny says that after a long time I feel a little peace, and then she starts kissing Kiran. They both become intimate again. When Shiny goes to get Kiran out of the house, she sees that the door of the house is locked. She is a little surprised, but she ignores it. When Shiny takes Kiran to the back door of the house, she sees that the door is locked from the outside. Now she goes to another door and sees that that door is also locked. Then when she goes to turn on the light, she sees that the main switch of the house is off and someone has removed the fuse. Shiny and Kiran are very scared. At that moment, a sound comes from the roof of the pill and the two of them run towards the roof in fear. When Shiny goes to climb on the roof, suddenly the roof door hits him on the head and he falls down. Shiny's head is bleeding. Now when Kiran starts to go to Shiny, someone hits Kiran's leg and they both start wondering who is beating them like this. Then we see that this third person is none other than Kudakan. Then Sin goes back. While Shiny and Kiran were beating the old woman, Kudakan wakes up from a nightmare. By that time Shiny and Kiran have killed the old woman and gone. Now Kudakan goes to see if his wife is okay. He sees a towel wrapped around his wife's neck and his wife is not making any sound. He hugs his wife and starts crying. He realizes that someone has killed his wife. Then when he comes out, he hears Shiny telling Kiran, "Don't worry, no one will know that we killed the old woman. I will start crying in the morning so that no one will suspect us." When Shiny and Kiran went to check if the old woman is dead, then Kudakan goes to Shiny to know who Shiny is talking to. When Shiny goes to check, he finds this object on the bed and he realizes that Shiny is having an illicit relationship with someone. And when Shiny came to see her father-in-law to see if he was asleep, Kudakan was crying by pretending to be asleep. Thinking that she was sleeping, Shiny left from there. And Kudakan got up and called her son Rajiv and said that in any case you should come to the village tomorrow. Her son got scared hearing this and asked if his mother was okay. Kudakan said that she was okay and put the phone down and started crying again. Then Kudakan took out a wrench from under her bed and took off her lungi and put on her pajamas. Now she would take revenge for the murder of her wife herself. And now when Shin came to Shiny and Kiran, Kiran said that what is happening here, who is beating us like this? Now when Shiny goes to her mother-in-law's room again, she sees that everything is fine there, but when she goes to Kudakan's room, she sees that Kudakan is not there. Her throat goes dry and she quickly goes and starts looking for the fuse of the main switch. Seeing Shiny's such a rush, Kiran says that tell me what happened. Then Shiny says that Kudakan can't see well with his eyes, but this is his house, he can understand every corner of this house very well even in the dark. If we want to escape from him, we need light. If there is no light, we won't be able to cope with him. Kiran says, "Who are you talking about?" Shiny says that I am talking about my father-in-law, he knows everything and he is doing all these things. And after hearing all this, Kiran gets scared and tells Shiny that I am not in this anymore, make arrangements to get me out of here. Then Shiny says that you will be able to get out of here, but later how will you escape from the police? Kiran says, what does it mean? Shiny says if we run away from here leaving Kudakan behind, then both of us will be in trouble. Kiran says what is wrong has happened. If both parents die in one night, people will be more suspicious and then we will both be caught. Shiny says, why are you thinking like this? Think that Kudakan loved his wife a lot and unable to bear this pain, he killed his wife and committed suicide. Shiny says we are both in trouble now. If we want To live, we have to kill Kudakan. We have to kill him in such a way that there are no marks of injury on him. When Shin comes to Kudakan, we see him taking out his wife's clothes, wrapping them around his chest and crying. He is crying over his dead body. Meanwhile, Shiny and Kiran come to his house to kill Kudakan, but Kudakan is not there. Seeing a lamp burning, Shiny takes the lamp and starts looking for him. Then Kudakan breaks the lamp in Shiny's hand and Shiny's hand catches fire. He starts writhing in pain. Kiran takes him to his house and applies ointment to his hand. Shiny starts screaming in great pain. Kiran says, "We are not killing the old man, but the old man will kill us." Then Sin goes back again. Kudakan is putting a switch next to his wife's bed and says, "Our maid has left, so if you need anything, press this switch, I will be there immediately." That's why the old woman wanted to press that switch before she died. And Kudakan starts crying thinking about all this. This time, when Shiny comes to her mother-in-law's room, she sees Kudakan dressing her mother-in-law in new clothes. When Shin comes to Kudakan, she sees that he is planning something in the storeroom of the house. Shiny and Kiran see him there and start following him. When he goes to him to kill her, Kudakan realizes that he is throwing various things in the storeroom at them. He takes a sack in his hand and Kudakan starts throwing it here and there. There is something hard in the sack and it hits Shiny on the head and he falls down, and then Kiran catches Kudakan from behind. When Kudakan pushes him back, the sharp knife of the coconut goes into Kiran's back and he screams in pain. And we see Kiran's friend Samad listening to music with headphones in his ears. Now Kiran comes to Shiny and says, "I will not leave that old man." Then it is seen that one of Kudakan's toenails has been torn off. He pulls it off completely without bandaging it. After that, Kiran starts searching in the dark to kill Kudakan, but it is seen that Kudakan is standing behind Kiran. Kudakan is about to kill Kiran when Shiny hits Kudakan on the head from behind and he falls to the ground. Shiny drags Kudakan to his mother-in-law's room and tells Kiran to bring kerosene, or Shiny will burn them both to death. Kiran keeps searching for kerosene, and while Shiny is pulling Kudakan, he slips and hits his head, and Kudakan hides somewhere. When Kiran comes to Shiny, Shiny says, "No matter where you hide, I will not leave you." Now Shiny tells Kiran to pour kerosene on the old woman and set her on fire. Shiny keeps repeating this to Kudakan so that Kudakan can come out. After hearing these words from a distance, Kudakan comes out helplessly. And the wrench in her hand also falls off. Then Shiny comes and slaps Kudakan hard. Kudakan falls off. Now Shiny and Kiran together start torturing him terribly. And Kudakan is keeping quiet because he has no other choice, otherwise they will burn his wife. Kudakan's condition is very bad. Now Shiny tells Kiran to put a knife in Kudakan's back, which Kiran does. And Shiny holds Kudakan against the wall. Kudakan is slowly dying and Shiny smiles evilly. Now Kudakan attacks both of them again and Kudakan comes to her room and calls the police. Shiny comes to her room and sees that Kudakan is not there. Shiny comes to her phone and sees that Kudakan is not there. Shiny comes to Kiran and says that the old man has called the police. It will take about an hour for the police to come and whatever needs to be done will have to be done within this time. We both can't do it. Tell your friend Samad to come. Kiran looks at Shiny and calls Samad and says, "Brother, come inside and save me. I am stuck inside." Then Samad comes and sees that all the doors of the house are closed. He asks how to enter the house. When Kiran asks Shiny, Shiny says that he climbed the mango tree and climbed to the roof and then came inside. And after hearing this, Kiran remembered her friend who told her that Shiny had a physical relationship with a man named Xavier. He also climbed the mango tree and climbed to the roof of the house and then came to Shiny. And she would spend the whole night with Shiny and come out in the morning. Kiran was so crazy in love with Shiny that she did not give any importance to her friend's words and even had a fight with him. Then Kiran said that I loved you so much and you cheated me so much. Now Shiny says that think about how to get out of here without giving me a character certificate, and hearing this, Kiran became silent. Samad, after hearing everything from Kiran, thinks about saving his friend and takes the sword from Shiny to kill Kudakan. Meanwhile, Kudakan is standing there, strangely pulling a biddy. When Samad goes to kill Kudi, he slips and gets his foot stuck in a sharp object. Even then, when he goes to kill Kudakan, Kudi hits Samad on the head with the wrench in his hand and Samad dies there. Now, Shiny, seeing Kudakan's appearance, understands that Kudakan can do anything for his wife. Now, Shiny, leaving aside the thought of killing him, starts thinking about how to escape from here. Then, Shiny calls a person named Alex and says, "You, please save me. A thief has entered our house. I can hear my father screaming from the next room. I am scared and have locked the door of my room. Please come and save me." And after hearing these words, Kiran says that I loved you so much and you have been cheating me for so long. Saying this, she starts beating Shiny. So far, both of them had joined hands to kill Kudakan for their love, and both of them now they are crazy to kill each other. And after seeing the scene, Kudakan leaves from there with a smile. Now Kiran grabs Shiny by the throat and says that you cheat your husband and cheat me too. How many men do you need? I even killed a person for you. Saying this, she kills Shiny. And now she starts chasing Kudakan to kill her. Seeing Samad's body, she gets even angrier. She starts looking for Kudi. She sees the blood stains on the floor and understands that Kudi is in the room. As soon as she opens the door of that room, a gas cylinder falls on her head and Kiran dies there. Then we see Kudakan taking out the fuse of the main switch from the banana leaf and taking it and putting it in the main switch, and the old house lights up. At one point, Shiny came and grabbed Kudakan's legs and threw him down. And attacked Kudakan with a screwdriver stuck in his back. Then Kudi hit Shiny on the head with a brass object he had, and he slowly started moving towards the main door of the house. And Shiny started crawling forward to kill Kudi. Kudi took out the key from his mouth and opened the door and fell there, and then the police came there. Then the police started taking out all the bodies one by one. When Kudi was taken out, then his son Rajiv appeared there and asked his father how all this happened. His father told him to take care of your mother. Kudi was taken away. When Rajiv entered the house, he saw the whole house was decorated and his father had decorated his mother beautifully. And with this our movie today ends. So friends, how did you like our video today? If you liked it, then definitely give it a like and let us know in the comments what kind of movie you want to see in the future.